Okay, we're on Yevamot Perek Gimel Mishnah Yud, the last Mishnah in the third chapter of Yevamot. Says the Mishnah, Shnayim shekichu shtei nashim, two people married two wives, ubishah knisatan lechupa hichlifu et zeh shel zeh ve'et zeh shel zeh. So what happened was, they used to have kiddushin a year before. They would send the woman back to home, or they would marry them. The husbands would travel from one city to another. They went together, and they did kiddushin, they did the kiddushin, but they didn't do the chuppah. A year later, 10 months later, whatever, the women would travel, they would prepare for the wedding, and then they would come together, and then they would get married. But when they got married, nobody remembered which one married which one. It was a financial consideration. Love wasn't very much a part of it. And then they switched. And then they realized after they switched, the morning after, they were like, wait, you're not Rachel? Like, whoa, you're not Leah. I didn't marry you. So now they ended up accidentally sleeping with somebody else's wife. So then unfortunately, they're chayav mishum eshetish. Hayu achim, if they were brothers, and they slept with each other's wives, then it's also mishum eshet ach. V'im hayu achayot, if the two brothers married two sisters, they're also chayav mishum eshet isha el achota. You can't marry you can't sleep with your wife's sister. So now, I just want to point out, there are two kinds of isurim. Normally, we hold the Bartenura says, ein isur chalal isur. You can only violate one isur at a time. But here, there are other kinds of isurim called isur kolel and isur mosif. Isur kolel means that an isur is more broad. So therefore, normally, ein isur chalal isur, but if the isur is more broad, then it applies in other situations. Isur mosif is when an isur applies to more people. Okay, kolel it's broader in more situations. Mosif is in generally to more people. So there are certain situations where we say isur chalal isur. You can look it up on the internet if you want. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this issue. If they were, each one was a nida when they slept with them, it's so nida. Sometimes the Mishnah likes to play this game, like if it's on Yom Kippur and he eats a cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? So we get if they're eshet ish, eshet ach, isha alachota, nida, etc. And so therefore, if they slept with each other, you have to make sure that they weren't pregnant, because if they got pregnant, it was an extramarital affair. It's sad, it's tragic, but that's the reality. When you marry a woman, you should know which one you marry. If they were children, this is very difficult for us to understand, but they would marry them and actually sleep with them even before they were able to have children. You could just switch back immediately because they're not pregnant, because they couldn't get pregnant. This is something that's certainly not practiced today. If they were either daughters of Kohanim, nifsalu mina truma, they couldn't eat nifsalu mina achot truma bebeit avia, afilu achar mot ba'ala, because it's like an onus, it's like a rape. And the Torah says that if a bat kohen is raped, if she has extramarital relations, she is no longer allowed to eat truma in her father's house. In any case, all of this, it has to be an exercise that the Tanaim were doing in what kind of isurim they could possibly be and what the ramifications would be. Hopefully this never, ever, ever happened. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.